Jackie Campbell.
Hello, Alex Cox. How are you?
Oh, I've been sitting here 14 whole minutes waiting for you, but I'll get through.
The one time you're
God.
ready and I'm finishing up another episode, another podcast. I was like, as it was coming to 3, I was like, nah, we'll be fine. She's going to be late. I'm not going to rush it. But no, 3 o'clock on the dot and you start calling. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I was like, okay, I was just waiting at my computer. I'm like, I don't want to be early. And then 4:59, we're in different time zones.
Oh, yeah.
But for you, 2:59, I was like, and no. Wow, is that like how a bird orgasms? What was that noise?
Sure, we'll go with that. Yep.
Oh.
That's the audio. Feel free to license that as needed with us, movies, peoples.
That sound was for you, Mark Bramhill. Oh God, I made it even worse. Mark Bramhill, good old friend. He works on a show called Bird Notes, and it's a daily podcast about it's 2 minutes about nature and birds, and it is delightful. Okay.
Yes.
Whew. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. We don't have a snow day today, which was good because we had 2 this week. And that always throws me off. But I have sunshine outside, and it's a beautiful day. And it's Thursday, which is the secondary optimistic day of the week. I'm owning that now because it's almost Friday. So, woo.
Oh, boy, is it ever. I'm kind of feeling, a lot of my coworkers also were feeling totally exhausted today. And we're like, why? This is the first time that there's been any sort of sunlight, in the entire month of February. And then we came up with this convoluted theory that maybe the sunlight is just making us, alive enough that we aren't tired. Before we were too tired to feel tired, we're just flat out dead. Whereas now it's like, oh God, oh man, and a little bit of sun, but just can't get the energy to go out into said sun. But
yeah,
oh man, I'm the kind of, we've talked about how much I love winter, but what kills me is both in terms of just being a grumpy person as well as my neurological brain bits. When the temperature goes from 0 to 30 in Fahrenheit in one day, it really fucks up your brain and
yes. No, I agree. And when there's yesterday I had this low-grade migraine hanging out. Just sitting in the back of my head, and I was just like, this sucks all day.
Ugh.
It wouldn't go away.
Oh,
and I was way too busy
to
do anything with it. And so, yeah, it was grumpy. It was hard. But I don't have one today, so I'll take it.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. Ugh.
Yay.
And you've been posting a lot of, I don't know if I've missed some or if you haven't put them up, but I've seen a lot of good mornings from you, and it makes me very happy.
Yes. I did not do one today, but that's mainly because I've been running ragged all morning, all day, in fact, because it's 3:00. How is it? Okay. How is it 3:18 in the afternoon? What have I done today? What is going on? But yes, I did not post, but not because it's bad.
Because you are a productive adult woman. Yep. When anyone says that to me, that is the noise I make.
You're rubbing off on me.
Oh, well, speaking of adult women,
yeah. Nice segue. Nice.
What a transition. Nice. I really wanted to talk to you about makeup.
Yes.
Because this is, I mean, I don't know. You put it in the doc of all of or a note of all the stuff to talk about. And I'm like, I haven't talked to someone about makeup in oh, wow. I literally cannot remember. I've been like makeup talk adjacent, like in group chats or like talking about I've talked about like nail art and stuff like that, but never, literally as like, oh, that art is cool, but not something I desire and or want. And I don't. Do you want to hear my makeup routine?
I can yes, I would love to. Tell me your
Oh,
makeup
were you going to
routine.
guess?
No, I was going to guess, and then I realized that no, I don't know if I want to guess because I'm going to guess it's like a moisturizer sunscreen mix, maybe a BB cream.
Okay, well, first of all, what is a BB cream?
Never mind
is
then.
That, like spot cover cover.
No, it's
I know. Oh boy.
Yeah, so that's okay. It is a like a tinted moisturizer type thing. But it usually includes sunscreen too, so it's a good way to kind of like smooth any like red spots or like different like layers of just to keep without like going full foundation. It's just like a light layer of color.
Interesting.
But it includes the moisturizer and the sunscreen. And so that's usually my go-to every morning. I'll do that.
Well, you're going to guess correctly that no, that's not something that sounds very intriguing to me though. Right now the setup is nothing except for can you even call it makeup if it's a acne spot treatment? Like, and then sometimes it'll cause like the zit to like get redder, so then I do some cover up. I don't know. So
yeah, I'll go
when
with
I was
that.
a kid, I always called it, I don't know, it was like always called cover up, but I guess I have a lot of foundation, which is really, I just like put in the summer. Okay, stepping back, I'm a very oily person. Like I'm a Yeti grease monster. Not only am I hairy, there's just all things secreting from my pores 24/7. It's a disaster. And that's treated with actually I'm mostly on birth control for skin stuff, really. Before that, nightmare. And then most of the makeup I use is Neutrogena and is like the anti-oil / like healing stuff. And that does, I just realized, have sunscreen built in, like at least 15 SPF 15. So I do actually always go into the sun with either makeup or sunscreen on because
Awesome.
I'm not just paranoid. I burn easily and it gets all ouchy. But I do own, I don't know, this might surprise people, but in the winter, I tend to tart up occasionally. And I am a fan of the MAC family of products, which not just because of the name. I actually do. Mostly because I have memories of a child going into a department store and by child, I guess I mean teenager, just sitting down and they would be like, oh, let me do the stuff for you. And they would put the things on my face and then my grandmother would buy me the stuff and I would use it about once a year. So it is very, very pricey, but I honestly, it is incredibly, oh wow, I'm looking at it what it is now, but it was one of the few things that didn't make my skin break out like crazy. Also the green makeup is what Broadway typically, depending on the actress, they use the green for Elphaba in Wicked. So really my makeup stuff, it's oh, Neutrogena has a new product, I'll take this. But it's more so skincare in general, and that's prescription stuff to clean and clear, whatever. But I don't know. I've been experimenting with mascara recently, and find that it's makes, you know what, I'll say it, makes my eyes look great. Not
Yeah.
fun for allergies.
Yes.
Anyway, that's pretty much the extent of my like makeup knowledge / experience, because whenever I need to actually tart up, I am lucky enough to have friend, and I'm like, I go to my friends and I'm like, help, do me, or I'll get it done for a wedding or whatever. So this is all, you can tell I'm rambling more than usual because makeup makes me strangely uncomfortable, because it's one of those things where it feels like people expect me to have this built-in knowledge, and it is not there whatsoever.
Yeah, which is so strange that it's this level of, oh, you're female presenting, so you must know how to do makeup. And it's okay if you're not. Like, I love makeup. I love for how it makes me feel. Because if I'm wearing a lipstick, chances are I need a little extra like mental support. I very rarely wear any sort of lip color. I like do a lot of like chapstick and lip balms and that sort of thing for like moisturizing, but I very rarely do a color. And so when I do, it's always a long lasting liquid that is not going to rub off when I like eat or drink, because I also drink a lot of water. But I don't do it very often. And it's usually when I need like that extra, okay, I've got my lip on, we're good to go. Pretty much every day I have a BB cream or just a moisturizer, sunscreen combo with concealer if I need just under eye, and some spot treatments because of stupid hormonal acne, which is not something that I'm used to dealing with. Even when I was a teenager, I didn't have a whole lot of acne. And so it's just like, are you kidding me? Stupid
You're
baby
living
broke
my
me.
15, yeah, you're living my 15 to 18, no, honestly 15 to today, day-to-day experience. And I'm very sorry. But look, there's another form of empathy that if God forbid Avi has acne issues, you can be like, I have been there.
I have been there, and you have seen me through there. Yeah. And then something else that I pretty much always do is my eyebrows. I use the e.l.f. That's E.L.F. which is super cheap makeup. You can find it at any drugstore. It's $3 for this little eyeshadow or brow pencil thing, with a little swirly thing for the eyebrows. And yeah.
What does that wait, what? Most of the things you've talked about, I'm like, oh, liquid, not chapstick, lipstick. There we go. I'm like, oh, that's probably a thing. All right, we talked about the stuff, but eyebrow, like I know eyebrow. No, actually, I don't. There's the one thing that sometimes I have to do, or people do on me, is I have a scar on my eyebrow that there's the one place on my entire body where hair doesn't grow. So they like, put like use a little bit of mascara or something, not mascara, eyeliner. So is there a separate thing?
I use if it's an eyebrow pencil, it tends to be a little bit waxier, so it can help keep the hairs controlled a little bit more. So you can use it to kind of help keep them under control. And so you can absolutely. I've used eyeshadow before in my eyebrows. I've used eyeliner. I've used. Obviously not lipstick, but you can use anything. However, the reason that they have a product that's specifically for brows is because that waxy texture almost helps keep the hairs in the same direction that they need to be in.
Huh. Interesting. That's very interesting.
all of the interesting information. I do a lot of one of my big YouTube like spirals, not spirals. Spirals is bad. I watch a lot of beauty gurus on YouTube. And watching them do their stuff like is really entertaining to me, and different products without having me have to go out and buy them because I'm cheap. And so finding the budget versions of high-end makeup and skincare, and like it is all, it's good stuff. It makes me happy.
I'm curious as to why you personally makes you happy. Like, do you find it aside from like the self-care and like, hey, I feel great, is it and I guess I'm referring more to the YouTube beauty stuff, is it, do you see it as like art or other, like is it an ASMR typey thing? Like you appreciate the craft?
Yeah, I definitely appreciate the craft, and I definitely see the art in it, because I don't do a whole lot of art anymore. I used to be an artist and paint and draw and like all of this stuff, and I don't do that as much anymore. Just the pressure and the overwhelmingness of having to practice on paint or paper, like whatever. Just, I don't do a lot of it anymore. And so being able to do something similar on my face there's a lot less pressure on it. It's easier to take off. It's a one and done type of a thing. And
it's a washable canvas.
It totally is. And there's no expectation that it's going to last forever. Like it shouldn't be. You should take your makeup off every night. And if you don't out there, please do. It's so bad. It's so bad for your skin. So bad for your body. Please wipe off. Even if it's just with makeup wipes, please take off your makeup at the end of the day. But that's my mommy phase. Moving on to the fact that, yes.
No, I agree. Like, it's the same reason you shouldn't sleep in jeans. It's not a judgy thing. It's just you gotta let your body breathe.
And the same reason you should wear sunscreen, too. In any form. Any is better than none. So, yes, wear your sunscreen, too. Yeah. But I that feeling of, yay, I still can be artsy without much pressure is really nice.
Oh, it's fascinating. And I feel like this, I try not to be like, oh my God, makeup too often, because it's very like on cliche, like the queer girl doesn't know what the fuck is happening. And I will say also that I don't know what the fuck is happening with cars at all, unless it has a battery to make it go beep beep, but otherwise no. And but it's this thing where, especially not just movie makeup, which again, holy shit, but especially like theatrical shows, because the makeup needs to be so what we like as a society is considered over the top, like the way that, you know, it like what's it called, contouring, right? That's where you contouring. Make your like and you
can change the shape of your face.
It's bonkers. And before I've just seen, you know, some Instagram ads for like makeup after I've Googled, like, actually I get a lot of makeup ads because I Google stuff a lot, because I'm like, what this? Help, this? Please. But like a fast, like a, you know, a time lapse of somebody like completely transforming their face. And I don't want to say like, oh my God, they look so much better, but just the transformation is fascinating to me. And the way that like it's, you know, like theater makeup is very over the top, and then you see, but you know, they look like a, you know, not over the top person on the stage, and then but seeing that same effect done close up, like what? it's baffling. And in my adult life, as a kid, I very much resented makeup and clothes and stuff like that. Again, because it was kind of forced onto you societally and, within my family. I talk about how much I love my parents, but, my mom was pretty shitty for a while about like, yeah, do the dress. You gotta make sure to have that cover up.
Right.
But then as an adult, kind of being, obviously I still have those hang-ups a bit, but I'm able to
just the fact that you called it tarting up says so much.
Oh, interesting. Why?
Just because a tart tends to be like a prostitute.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Oh my God, have I been, and many of my friends, are we using a slur? Is a verb?
I mean, kind of, yeah.
Oh, whoa. Okay, gotta get on this Slack channel. I will say though, that is absolutely bad on me. And we just use that as like a way. I'm like in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that what I'm doing is right, but like, I'm gonna get tarted up. But yeah, that totally makes sense.
Yeah,
and
so
God.
It's so funny because when you said it the first time, I was just like, did I hear that right? Did I really? Yep. That is what she said.
God.
And then I was like, okay, how do I approach this? Being a good human, and then you just kind of opened the door and I was able to come in and present it. But yeah, so by presenting yourself as, oh yes, we're going to tart up, and has it be this mindset of, I don't even know how to go even further in that, but it doesn't have to be extreme to be makeup.
Oh, absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be this huge thing to be a makeup routine or whatever. And can really, man, yeah, it's so positive in my life that it makes me sad anytime that it's not seen as positive. Because there's definitely, pressure to, you got to look perfect. Or, I mean, you see politicians on television when their makeup is not done right, and you're just like, oh no. And that pressure of having to be perfect, or the whole like tabloids that are like, look at these stars without makeup on, like, or the whole contouring it's a lie and makeup is a lie, and so take your girlfriend out swimming so then you could see what they really look like, or that it's God. Like, really, you think girls naturally have green glittery eyelids? Like, that's not how that works, but okay, sure.
Take your girlfriend to the doctor if that doesn't come up. Like, someone needs to I will also say I don't want to defend myself, but I put the Slack channels off the chain now. All about
sorry.
Like, oh no, but like there's like people like, oh yeah, it's reclaiming it, and then people are like, well, it's kind of calling yourself a slut, and then other people are like, but I like calling myself a slut, and like all of these. So to each her own. I kind of feel the same, like it's tough because now my partner doesn't really identify as female, so it's calling myself a dyke sometimes I'm like, I don't, because, I got the term fat dyke often as a youth, and I often got called the F word a lot, but typically referring to gay men. But I'm not a gay man, so I'm not a gay man. Woo! I'm not a gay man, so I don't feel as comfortable saying that out loud. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just think this is interesting, and that's I often say too, like, oh yeah, in my like slutty period in college, because I felt so like liberated. I'm not going to say the phrase sexually liberated on a podcast, because I refuse
talking about
to-
college.
Oh God! Oh God! Oh God!
Your experimental face.
Oh God! Oh man, we got to talk about when I kissed a boy.
What?
Right?
It's okay. We can talk about when I kissed a girl. It'll all good.
Oh my God! Oh. Tune in for future episodes. But like it felt so freeing just to be able to be like, yeah, I don't feel ashamed about. I do not feel ashamed about being gay. It was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And when I always use the phrase like tarting up, I don't know what's a better phrase for something that it's like, yes, I am embracing a stereotype right now in order to reclaim it as my own, like when I put on like makeup in, I don't want to say over the top, like over the top for me personally.
Mm-hmm. When you glam.
Yeah, when I glam up, there we go.
Yep.
Like when I get all glam, which again for me is like eyeliner.
Right.
It's super like it's fun, and I know people are listening. Some people are gonna listen are like, well, yeah, duh. But for me, it was always. I even said I would often get all I made up for weddings and stuff, and it's mostly for other people, and when I remember the New Year's Eve a while back where I'm like, I'm going to wear a cocktail dress. I am going to have my friend do my makeup. I'm going to like blow dry my hair. Like it's going to be off the chain. And I changed midway through the night, probably like 1 a.m. because I'm like, okay, done with this.
Yeah.
But but it wasn't a feeling of like, oh, that was terrible. It was a feeling of I'd feel better with pants right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I guess that's why I have a complicated relationship with makeup, and especially talking with Maddie because, you know, he wears makeup every single day because of the acne he gets from testosterone. And that's just like foreign to him because he, you know, not never, but like, again, we would wear makeup when it was a very like, oh yeah, fuck you. We're going to wear makeup and not feel like it's a shitty obligation. And yeah, so as an adult, it's been really nice to appreciate and be wowed by folks who are so talented. The same way that like fashion, I'm like, what now? That's bonkers. I love it. But yeah, I don't know. What sort of relationship did you have with makeup growing up? As I'm vomiting all of my feelings and learning even more about myself.
It's all good. That's what this show is for both of us.
I know.
I mean, I couldn't wear makeup until I was, I think, 13. And I think my 13th birthday, I had like a makeup party with a Mary Kay lady. Which now, like, I'm a little bit like,
I participated in an MLM.
Yes. But also, like, it did teach me how to properly take care of makeup brushes and how to, like, lift up on the edges when you apply stuff to help guide the skin. I don't know. I can't even. Anyways, doesn't matter. Ugh.
It does though, because it's like the way you hold your pencil, both face and drawing. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, and so makeup was always something that was for special occasions. So I couldn't do wear makeup to school every day. Or anything like that. And so it always had this special feel to it. And my mom was always very, I say basic, but not in a like trendy way. But she always had, you know, her skincare regime and, you know, moisturizer and sunscreen, and sometimes would do some eyeliner and mascara and a lip and blush occasionally, but not a whole lot of makeup. And so when I started on the dance team in high school and I had to wear more makeup, it was just like, oh, even more experimenting. And then in college, when you get to hang out with different people that have different choices for makeup, and this was, in the aughts where makeup was terrible choices. There are some photos floating around that I'm sure are very, very bad makeup decisions, but I it's a journey. I learned what not to do and what I feel like looks better on me and what I prefer to do for my own choices. And so it's just been continuously building on that aspect of I do this to accentuate my features that I want to accentuate, or to help clear up spaces that I don't appreciate. So like spot acne and dark circles, because I don't know why. It's not like I'm tired or anything all the time. And a little bit of contouring, under my jawline if I feel extra bloated that day or whatever, just to like help it recede. And that whole play of light and shadow and all of it just can be really, really fulfilling. Just to be like, okay, this is who I am today. It's just a little extra.
Huh. I love that. Like, yeah, this is me today.
Yeah.
And I forgot that most young girls can't wear makeup until a certain age. I never had a desire to until like I started to break out and stuff. And so makeup was allowed at my high school, but not my middle school, I think.
Yeah.
But I think cover up was allowed in middle school because, or like at least it was like an unspoken, like, okay, the girls with terrible acne, let's save them.
Baby.
We've already done so much to them. We've already let them be bullied. And
right.
Just let them have this bit of dignity.
Oh.
And the fact that they consider that dignity also gross. But
right, but that's fine.
Yeah. Like I'm thinking about high school, like, oh yeah, wow, I bet that was another clue to people that's the thing, like makeup does not correlate to sexuality whatsoever.
It really
and
doesn't.
It doesn't even kind of. And the stereotype, like, I mean, I don't know. Now it's, It doesn't correlate to gender. Nothing matters. Everything's an
Nothing
illusion.
matters. Yeah. I mean, some of the most incredible like makeup artists that I follow on YouTube are male. So James Charles is the guy that had that social media post that blew up about, oh, my highlighter's not popping, so I retook my class photo. Do you remember that when that came out a couple years ago?
What's his name?
James Charles.
James Charles. Oh, this guy looks very familiar to me. Yes!
Yeah.
Oh my god, this guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Holy
so he's
heck.
now 19. Okay? He's 19 and he is killing it. So some of the stuff that I follow is more of a like gossipy type stuff. And he still manages to hold himself together in a way that's so impressive, especially for a 19-year-old.
And if he's on YouTube, I'm going to assume that he has been sucked into some terrible,
yes.
Oh.
Well, in one of his, I guess, friends in the industry, I guess you could say, is Jeffree Star, who is another male makeup artist on YouTube, who is less of a superstar, like kind person. Like he's there for the tea. He's there for the drama. He's there for everything.
For the tea?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's a thing. So like if you're here for the tea, you're here for the gossip. Like I'm going to spill the tea. Do you know that term?
No, but I'm starting spill like, so it's like you're spill the tea. This is an album.
I'm here to give I'm here to give you the truth, like give you gossip, that type of thing. Did I use it wrong? Am I old?
Oh,
I don't know.
I mean, I'm the same.
I mean, I am old, but yeah. So he's very much a drama llama, and so he a lot of like he uses that phrase a lot, but also like talks junk about other people, and he's a very interesting character. But his makeup is incredible, and he has this empire around like makeup and merch and YouTube, and just like it's so impressive. These hustlers are just like how far they can go with what they're doing.
Right?
It's so impressive.
Like, I'm just looking at the. Oh, fuck, no! No, 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 no! No!
Whoa.
Hold on. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I oh, no! No! Oh, God.
Where did you end up?
Oh, God. Oh, fuck me. There's just a photograph of himself with butterfly. Oh God, just Google his name and butterflies. I can't even. I'm freaking. We've talked about my butterfly feelings, right?
I don't think we have.
Oh, that I am terrified of butterflies, and there's
Whoa. So yeah, that's a Snapchat filter.
That's a Snapchat filter.
Like, well, I don't know if it is. I know he uses that one a lot. Is it like the gold butterflies?
No, he has
actual butterflies.
I don't know. It's him with gorgeous like blue makeup, and then a like fake butterfly or a something butterfly, and like his middle fingers and his shoulders, and it's starting to be covered in butterflies. It's gorgeous. I just have a thing with butterflies.
Yeah, that I did not know.
Yeah,
but now I do.
Yeah, that is one of those Alex things.
Huh.
All right, we'll get real quick. So the people don't think I'm I was going to say crazy, but let's be real. I when I was younger, this is like one of my more rational phobias, I swear to God. When I was younger, like this one time my grandmother took me to a beautiful greenhouse, and there was like a butterfly sanctuary in there. And you could take a little dip of the like sugary hummingbird / butterfly juice, I don't know, put it on your finger, and butterflies would land on you, and it was just so sweet and adorable. And as this guy as the like the butterfly handler, I don't know, was like going to put it on my finger, he like tipped it over and spilled it all over me. So I'm covered in butterfly food,
no.
and they fucking swarmed me, and it
oh,
was not
baby.
a good scene. It was not a good scene. Oh yeah. And I'm sure that it was much less than I remember, but I there was a time when I was indeed a wee person, and that was, oh boy. Anyway, that is why butterflies, like on people specifically, I'm just like, woo, nope.
It freaks you out. Yeah.
Checking out. Yeah,
Nope.
It's one of those. Again, it feels though more rational to me. Like it is an anxiety that I can clearly trace back to like this is
an actual
theme.
Yeah.
Other than like being afraid of holes, you know, like that one. Anyway, makeup. Although I have just been scrolling through beauty YouTubers, and it's just God.
There's some amazingly talented people out there.
Have you had like? Does Avi have any interest in makeup yet, or is that something you've started talking about and exploring?
Yeah, so she wears makeup for when she dances, for competitions and stuff. So that's definitely part of it. We've done things like. For special events and whatnot, we'll do some mascara, even though her eyelashes are already so thick and black and long and gorgeous. She has her daddy's eyelashes, and it's fine. I can handle it. It's fine. But like when she has her eyes open, her lashes touch the top of like her lid because they're so long. And so then you put mascara on it because the tips of them are a little bit of a lighter brown. So you put mascara on and they're black and solid and just like even more gorgeous. And so we have that as a like presentation, almost like this is something that you're learning. This is something that you're doing. That's type of a thing. And so it's there. She sees me do it. She'll do my makeup every so often, and it's kind of fun to share that like happiness of the makeup side of things. I always have concealer and an eyebrow pencil in the car in case I feel like I need to do a little bit more. If I need to, oh, darn it, I'm going somewhere and I need to quickly put on some sort of face just to like get confidence up or if whatever. And so I always have that in the car, and every so often she'll see me do that before we leave and real quick or as we pull in somewhere. And so it's just kind of just a presence, like it's here. It's not a big deal. Like she's not allowed to wear it until she's 13 or anything like that. There's no major like restrictions on that because that tends to not work very well for most people. But if you talk about it, it's not as big of a deal.
You're the cool mom who just wants her to smoke in the house. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Man, that feels like such a trope. I never knew any parents or who were like, yeah, totally get wasted. I just want you to do it in the house, which I have mixed feelings about because, like, sure, but also I don't know if I could be the mother. I am literally passing no judgment or do not care. I'm just trying to think about what I would do, and I have no idea. But you talk about it almost as if like two things, like makeup is like an effervescent, like it's just always around, and it sounds like it's almost the equivalent of like a kid, like a boy watching his dad shave or something. This is something, but even more of like, you don't have to do this, but this is what mom does, and like do, and I really like that.
It's something that I feel strongly for most things in our life, that like your children are watching all the time. They're always aware, even if you don't think that they are. And having important pieces in raising your children in all aspects of, so like model what you want your kids to be. Don't tell them, oh, do what I say, not what I do. Like, let this be the easy way to learn, so you don't feel like you have to sit down and have a talk for everything that comes up. If it's just a part of the life, and just letting that, it can make the job easier. Let's be honest. And we want to make parenting as easy as possible because it's not easy. It's so hard that like any tricks that you can do, and it makes you a better person too. Let's be honest.
I know this is, I don't want to turn this episode into parenting, but now I really want to do a parenting episode because I just don't. I mean, we've talked like I cannot even, as they say. Like there's just so like every time I think like my parents had 5 of them. What were they on
I
purpose?
Can't even.
On purpose.
We have one, and I cannot even imagine more than one, because then you have to deal with them together too.
Oh, what a nightmare. And then, well, also in like my mom will admit, she's like, I always wanted you to have a sister, which eventually 10 years later I did. She's like, but did not mind not having to delegate like different makeup and clothing between you and your brothers. That was a plus. And I'm like, I agree, especially if oh man, I can't even imagine having an older sister, and this is fucked up, but in like I feel like I would hated having an older sister because, or I'm assuming, I guess, that they would be straight, which probably, that's, I would have hated having a straight older sister because it would have just compiled like, oh God, I would have this and I would have all these hand-me-downs and because that's a very real thing that a lot of queer kids have to deal with, of like, they're in financial situations where even if their parents are supportive, you gotta have the hand-me-downs. And that was never, I was the oldest. So I got my first pick of the makeup I didn't want. To sort of like wrap up, I'm interested. God, it's so fascinating, and it's just there's like we could have like one about lips specifically because
oh, absolutely. Well,
I
and
mean,
you know me, I'll talk forever about anything. Like, give me a topic, and I'll just keep talking. But that's not what we're gonna do.
Oh, only because Survivor was last night, but I do have to catch up on my recaps of Survivor, and I'm turning into my grandma, which I hope to one day, but I didn't think it would be quite so soon. But I'm wondering if you have had any negative experiences with makeup, because we've sort of talked about mine, but I think I have less than typical queer people, probably actually because I went to Catholic school and makeup like wasn't allowed, and the whole uniformity thing, both literal and figurative, like we want everybody to be on the same playing level,
right?
And then in high school I had the whole like clearly there's something up with Alex, but whatever. Have you ever had any like, I don't know, was there ever weirdness, or were you able to just like, yeah, I'm embracing this as my art?
I mean, there were some times when I would make a choice that was maybe not the best choice. It looked terrible. Like, I would do really, really dark eyeshadow that just was not done well. And things like that, like just interesting decisions. But overall, like, I can't think of.
Was it fueled by like the fashion of the time more so than like?
Oh no, even in the fashion of the time, it was a bad choice. Like, my dad, I remember it was specifically one thing I'm thinking of is it was a high school dance, and I had done my makeup, and it was bad. And my dad goes, "That's what you're doing? Don't you think your eye makeup's a little dark?" Yeah. But other than like that, and he was totally right. It was bad. Not really. No.
That makes me so happy to hear. Like, that's wonderful. I'm reminded now of the time. Again, my parents were pretty good about like not like shaming me or anything, but I remember I had made an attempt to do makeup, and my mom was like, "That's too much for church." I was like, "What?" And I didn't know. For me, it was like binary. There was either makeup or no makeup. And
right?
so there was makeup. And also, oh man, we should have another episode about nails, because not just like the polish, but the biting of, and like everything in between.
Oh yeah. No, I can. Yes, absolutely.
Man, like. There was now I'm just trying to think of the times my parents were shitty, I guess.
No.
I was at I was Hot Topic now is very like, yeah, cool pop culture cartoons, but it was, where the cool emo kids shopped, and I fancied myself a cool emo kid at 12 years old, and really wanted to have black nail polish because all the cool boys and girls in those music videos had black nail polish. And I told my mom, I'm like, hey, can we stop at Hot Topic? I think I want some black nail polish. And she was like, not in my house. No, no, no. And like,
Oh.
not even like mean, but just like, no. And just, I remember I give her shit because the other day, like, black nail polish now is like totally normal. And like,
Yeah, it's totally
she was
fine.
black. Yeah, she was wearing black nail polish the other day. And I'm like, no, 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 not in my apartment. I was proud of that joke. Good for me, I guess.
Good job.
But even I just thinking about the I don't know, the social mores of like I have 2 tattoos now, which is insane for me to like it just what? Where I remember being told if you ever get a tattoo, like we're disowning you, and like not actually
Right.
because they knew that I would never. It was mostly in jest. And the other day at dinner, my mom said, like my brother has a bunch of tattoos, and like my sister-in-law and my not quite my partner-in-law. What do you call someone who they are together? They're life partners, but they're not technically whatever. My basically sister-in-law. That's
Yeah.
man. We need to expand language. But
Yeah,
like
that's
she is. Yeah, I was thinking like, what if Maddie and I could have never gotten married? Would they be like my, my brain just broke and I don't know why.
Huh.
It's been a long day. I'm very tired, and I'm sure
Yeah.
everybody listening to this knows it. But
yeah, I think we're okay with that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we'll just continue on with our
Ugh.
life.
Oh, but my mom was. I'm going to finish the story because I'm going to send it to her.
Yes.
And be like, yeah, I talk about her on the internet. Yeah, I do. She was like, yeah, I'd like to just get at least one. And I'm like, hold on. And it was one of those things where there were like 20 people at the table, and I stood up and was like, what? It was not like meant to be theatrical or a bit, but I like lost my shit. I hid my tattoo for 2 years. No, just a year, but still. And I was 26 years old. Like it was, oh boy. And she's like, oh, maybe, I don't know, like just a nice little cross and then like a flower for each of you, just real small. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is happening right now? And I'm very, like, again, it's wonderful that people can grow and change, but like, wow, the world.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember that moment as oh my God, like people can change in good way. And obviously like it is a symbol of thinking about how people can like grow and change, and how like when I put on my makeup I don't need to hate myself. And now I'm gonna think about you teaching Avi like, oh yeah, here is like the quote everyday face, and here's like the boss ass dancing makeup. And
Yeah.
now I want to go home and put on makeup.
Woo.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, do you wear makeup if you don't leave the house?
Sometimes if I am doing like a video call.
Oh, interesting.
Um,
So typically no.
yeah, typically no.
Hmm.
And a lot of times when I'm leaving the house, I don't either.
Do you think that's because? Nah, I guess I get like, you know, do you have the days where you basically are in pajamas, you shower, and then you put on another pair of pajamas?
All the time.
Yeah, I've accepted that those days are okay, and I'm just gonna keep on embracing them because
Yeah.
when I can have those, it's a gift.
Well, I have my fancy pajamas and my
that's
going out
right.
pajamas, and then my ratty. It's okay if the only people seeing me are my family and my neighbors when I walk the dog pajamas.
I have those tiers of pajamas too, and I'm trying to, as I'm continuing to Marie Kondo everything, I'm like, okay, I know that I know that Cancer Boy. Sorry, if people don't know, oh God, I do another show in which I started referring to my brother who had cancer and is in remission. He's referred to as cancer, or was referred to as cancer boy in my family. And I have a pair of his old pajamas, which I'm very attached to, but it has holes everywhere. It doesn't fit me because he's basically a male version of Alex. Like, he's ginormous. And I shouldn't have to, if I'm going to the door, I shouldn't have to like hold up my pants. And I think it'll be okay if I throw away my old pajamas, because I'm very okay with people seeing holes in my clothes, but not so much my butt. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am so tired, Kathy.
Yeah, go rest. Go rest, my darling.
The thing is,
Sleep well.
slept. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me. I'm Mrs. Soup at most internet places. KathyCampbell.com for links out to all of my podcasts, including... We just recorded the final episode of Sestracast, the Orphan Black podcast that I do with the fantastic Gene McDonald. And that was a little bit emotional. And then we recorded live commentary over the Masked Singer finale for the musical Fursona, a show on the TV podcast on The Incomparable. So it's a day of endings, but this show is not ending, and that is happy. So thank you, Alex Cox.
Thank you, Kathy Campbell, especially because I have a new show to watch, not Orphan Black, which I enjoy, but the show you mentioned that I Googled, it was like, oh boy.
It is a magical disaster trash fire, and it will make you angry, but it's amazing. Yeah. So if you have not seen The Masked Singer, watch it. It's family-friendly entertainment, and don't go in for it to learn something new or be inspired other than by the bee. Bee is incredible. Okay. So I wasn't gonna like go into it, but then I started. Yeah. So just Google it, and then Love on the Bee and her absolute amazingness. But yeah, the people that are doing it. It's a good show. It's a good, terrible show. So enjoy.
Oh, man. I mean, once I get through, I've watched maybe 12 seasons of Survivor in the past month. It's very upsetting. Yeah. Seasonal depression in this office has been rampant, but so has our Survivor obsession. So it's kind of
nice.
Yeah, it's nice. But I'm going to go home and watch what appears to be a bunch of furries singing.
Yeah.
And
bonus, have me on Dubai Friday to talk about this delightful show.
Oh my God. Oh
Media
my
challenge.
God. Oh yes. Man, I can't wait. You know what would be terrible though? It would end up that Max would become obsessed with it, and then
well, there's only one season.
Oh.
It just did get released for the second season now. But like it won't be 8 million seasons of Survivor like he has for Survivor, but also maybe Survivor talk will stop, or at least slow down.
No. I haven't heard any opinions about that.
No, definitely not. I'm sure nobody has ever said anything like that to you. Ever.
And it's not like everybody tweets at me. No. Definitely not
you
like
poor
that.
Thing.
Oh, the thing is, I fucking love that show so much, but I'm very good at starting podcasts, and I could start one about Survivor, but I haven't. Didn't trust me. I've seriously considered it. But you can find me on the internet, definitely talking about Survivor on Twitter at Alex Cox, spelled COX, not the other way. But I'm very good about not spoiling. I don't start tweeting about the previous week's episode until the current episode has aired, and even then it is tagged with spoilers and Survivor. And like, don't worry, I've learned the etiquette. I'm part of this world now.
Yes.
And I hear you wrote a book, Kathy Campbell. Where did that go?
Yeah,
where does that live?
that lives on theunicornsidekick.com, where you can get some help in hiring and training your first employee or helper. Not an employee. Doesn't have to be an employee. Just have someone to help you out.
Yeah, and it has been, oh gosh, we got to stop putting that episode off. It's really, what a thing.
Okay, next week. We'll do that next week.
Oh boy. I love you so much, Kathy Campbell. Thank you so much for dealing with my not quite sleep deprived brain, maybe vitamin D, serotonin deprived, whatever's going on.
I love you, Alex Cox, and have a great day.
You too. Enjoy the sunlight.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.